Guys, welcome to the PiG Daily, episode number 121, and a lot of Protoss players have been struggling in the PvT matchup, and I am trying to figure out something to help you all out. Today we're going to be looking at a very easy solution to the PvT conundrum. I'm working on a lot of notes, a lot of different show plans to talk about macro PvT, how to defend certain pushes, what scouting means, all the little minute adjustments and the little tweaks that allow you to defend. But for now, we've got an easy solution. It's Proxy Stargate opening into expand. It's a really aggressive opening where if the Terran makes even a small screw up, they're going to get wrecked. So this is going to be a very short daily. I'm going to actually show you guys first person as I do this build. So let's not dilly-dally. Let's get right on into it. I've got my friend Term here. He is going to help me out. Let me make sure I've got my notes up on my second monitor. Yes, I do. And let's go. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, so I'm going to walk you through this Proxy Stargate opening. Now I've only done this a few times, so while the opening build order should be close to perfect, I'm going to kind of suck at the micro and the, in the heat of battle decision making once it actually gets to the fighting. But up to that point really is the most important part for you guys to kind of study and learn from. Because you can then emulate that, and really learning, what to prioritize in the battle is very situational. It always changes based on every single game. Every situation is slightly different. Sometimes people prefer to prioritize, being super crazy aggressive and really trying to go for the throat. Other players might prefer not to. So of course you go for your standard 16 gate followed by 16 gas. Now your next probe that pops out, you want to immediately rally it out across the map. You guys will notice, this is for proxying it, right? This is a 4-player map. I really like this on 4-player maps. Even on like Cactus Valley, you could even go proxy at the Watchtower if you want, because a lot of the time people won't check that. So you want to put on gas as this is finishing, and you want to take another gas as that's finishing as well. So very nice. Now you don't know where your opponent spawned, so you want to go and put your pylon somewhere where it won't automatically get scouted, and it'll be roughly equally distanced to all of your opponent's bases. That's going to make a nice difference there. Got to get that core down straight away. That slight delay there is not the best. And you just hang out here with this probe. This probe's just chilling. Just keep building probes for the moment. So you put down that cyber core straight away. Now, you've already put down this pylon even before that cyber core. And what we're going to do when that cyber core finishes is we're going to start a mothership core. We're going to keep the chrono boost on that, an adept, and then a Stargate. And just before this finishes, let's send a probe out, because we do need to scout where our opponent is on a 4-player map. You can still do this on a 2-player map, and obviously you don't need to send out the extra worker then. Notice we pause probe production, we go mothership core, adept, and now we're going to build a Stargate. There we go. And notice you've paused warp gate research. Very important to get that Stargate out quickly. If you are going for like a 4-gate rush with this, maybe you want to do it slightly different. Whoops. Oh, this probe's meant to go scout. A little bit late. A little bit late on that. And you want to just kind of move your adept, and you want to keep up a second adept. And your mothership just to the center of the map. Okay, cool, cool. So we want to bring these probes down.
Give us.
Your second adept can just defend at home. Keep in mind, you've got to start this extra pylon just after your Stargate finishes. So mine's about 6 or 7 seconds late. That's going to slow down my my rush quite a little bit. And you want that pylon up there, because you want to start pylon rushing now.
Where shall we march?
Your enemy strikes at a pylon.
Come back. Give us your command. Where shall we
You have left your probes undefended.
We await.
And behind this, you're just building probes, and you're actually already going for a nexus. I didn't manage to get too much damage done here. But you're going to build multiple oracles. You're going to put down a nexus behind this rush. And you've actually got a really nice transition. So notice I managed to take out that other depot there. Because I used both overcharges in quick succession, made things a little bit harder for myself, but...
Our window is short. You seek guidance? Our fates are one. The star.
Give us your command.
So he was very well mentally prepared. He's had an almost perfect defense so far. But things can still go wrong.
The threads of
Very slow reaction there for him. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of kills.
Research complete.
How can I aid you?
Just keep probing at home. And behind this you can basically go for whatever you want. But normally you'll go for a robo.
An Aerodine.
Let your wind.
Your units at the front can go home.
Wait, how can I aid
There's not
you?
much to do there.
I see. We interpret. The threat. Let us.
And you're just building
Our
lots of
window is
probes.
short.
Your enemy strikes at a pylon.
No! You want to build a void ray at home to defend? And from here, you kind of just go into however you want to play. Of course, preferably you'd keep those 2 oracles alive. If you're getting a lot of damage, you can even go up to 3 oracles. But you get that void ray to help you defend. And if you do heaps of damage and you know your opponent can't really counter push, you can go for a super fast third even before dropping these gates in the robo. But that is a little bit risky, so it's something which is very much based on your own preferences. So that void ray is coming out. We are building a lot of these dudes. We're going to put down a nexus. And you kind of just go into a normal macro game from here. So guys, if you are watching on YouTube, do check out the comments below. You'll notice there is a link to a build order guide. There we go. So we got 1 observer out now.
The threads of fate lie bare. It is tested.
Just grab a few kills there. And from here, there's so many different things you can do. This is probably the most common transition, I would say, is to maybe get a few Phoenix right now. Get a Forge, get a Twilight Council, go for a big Adept army, because especially if you're being greedy, you're very worried about a 2-base push from him. You know, he's kind of hemmed in by these Oracles a little bit. So you're just like, oh, okay, how can I defend this? I know. Let's just make sure I get out some sentries. I go for lots of Adepts, and off the back of those lots of Adepts, I should be able to fight really well front on. The Void Ray can help shut down drops, the Observers will give me map vision, and we can see that he's already here.
The firstborn shall persevere.
And he's coming across, and I'm going to finish this VOD after this next push, because from there everything kind of goes into its own special direction. Of course, based on the actual game itself.
By the heart of iron.
Glory to the Daylom.
So, getting some sentries, getting some immortals now.
Our window is short.
And with 1 more warp in, I'm just going to engage, because I see, hey, that's a pretty small force.
The firstborn shall persevere. Naja. The firstborn shall persevere.
I return to serve. There are no minerals
And from there,
mined from that
if you just want to play a very mid-game focused style, carrying through that momentum from the early game, one of the best things you can do is just go Immortals. So you just go Immortals, get about 3 sentries in total, sometimes more. You want to add in Blink immediately, keep getting those attack
enemy strikes
upgrades.
at a pylon. Teleport successful.
Okay, I did lose that other Phoenix,
Your
that's
upgrade
okay.
is ready for use.
Now notice I've got an Observer down there. I see that his force is kind of a little bit pitiful.
You have already gathered all that field's minerals.
But
Your
what am I
enemy
missing?
strikes at a pylon.
I'm still only on 3 gateways.
I am eager to strike.
Ah, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, save!
Glory. We shall.
So he's pushing out again. He's coming up here. We're gonna have an observer just to watch the movements, see what's going on.
Glory
Adding another attack upgrade. Gonna go up to a lot of gateways because my macro sucks.
I am here in the shadows.
Okay.
Here in the shadows.
Saknaku Tamba. I return.
Where are the pylons, bro? Where are the pylons? If I could warp in units right now off these 10 gateways, that would be pretty handy. So I should be able to break this, but we're just gonna wait for warp-ins.
Your research has concluded.
I am here in the
Your enemy strikes the pylon.
fury.
Glory to the Daylon.
And this is a pretty easy army to control. But I've got to wait for Blink. Blink just kicked in.
Glory to the Daylon.
Okay.
I return to serve.
Give us your command.
The skies await. The enemy closes.
Enough.
We are one with the shadows.
Break out of there.
Time for upgrade.
The firstborn shall persevere.
Take a fourth base, and carry that during a macro.
Depleted.
Macro win. Of course, I said I was going to finish it there, so I'm just going to try and finish him with this counter push. Now, the important things with this rush that you'll notice is this is an example where it failed pretty hard, but it forced a lot out of him. There was that one moment, I guess, where I killed a lot of SCVs. If your opponent is perfectly responding to this, they will be able to just defend and
The
hang on.
firstborn shall persevere.
And that's okay. Because it does have a decent follow-up. It's got many different opportunities for them to screw up and lose.
Shadows.
I return to serve.
The firstborn shall persevere. Glory to the day.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah.
There are no more.
The firstborn shall persevere.
And there we go. Okay, he's gonna keep fighting. I don't know why I'm still playing right now. Sorry, guys. I'm just really addicted to trying to win games, I guess. But yeah, this is a good way to keep the tempo going. I think if you just sit back all game, it's really hard to play one of these like immortal styles where you don't go for splash, because it's very hard to kind of force fights to happen. But you kind of force the game to exist a lot more at a lower economy when you're doing these rushes. And so usually kind of going very aggressive and then just kind of over-responding to the mid-game, playing kind of almost too prepared for mid-game pushes and that sort of stuff is actually a really good way to play this.
This geyser has outlived its useful.
Alright, GG's. Cool. Alright. So, am I a bloody savant of this fucking opening? Hells no. But that's the opening. It's cool. Check it out in the YouTube comment section below. And it's just a very good opening to catch your opponent off guard. And for every game like that where they've got a bunker ready and they're like, oh, I scouted you early and I've reacted very fast, you're going to get a game where someone scouts you last or they don't SCV scout and they're just completely woefully prepared and you pretty much just do game-ending damage almost with your couple of oracles. Keep in mind, why do you go for the pylon rush? The pylon rush is very powerful because it can catch your opponent off guard. You don't always need to commit to it. If your opponent's super prepared, they pull heaps of SCVs, you can always go ahead and cancel those pylons. The important though, part of that is to disrupt them. So that if they're just building Widow Mines and not Cyclones, the pylons are very hard to deal with. So that you can potentially take down those add-ons, supply block them, anything to try and weaken them from very calmly saying, I've got enough money to have a Widow Mine in my mineral line, a Widow Mine in my natural, an engineering bay, let's get turrets down on time. And because those oracles keep hitting so quickly, you start being able to get a lot of damage done. A few interesting notes on 4-player maps like what I was playing there. You always want to find that equal area. And if they do scout you last on a 4-player map, it's probably the most powerful. It's the ideal situation. Also, if they don't SCV scout, which quite a lot of players don't bother doing, it's also going to be exceptionally powerful there. So if everyone's SCV scouting and you're playing a lot of 2-player maps and everyone seems to have know the exact response, maybe you want to phase this out of the meta a little bit. But as it does very well, you do want to try and focus on it as much as possible. So guys, let's just take a look at Innovation's response here for the Terran players. Like, how do I stop this? Because I know there's going to be people asking that question. And this is from Game 2 of the IAM Gyeonggi Grand Finals. So in this game, we do see, if we go back far enough, that, yeah, basically Stats comes up here with the Mothership Core. He puts a pylon in this really random spot in the natural. Why did he do that? Because bunker on the low ground. So this low ground bunker is the best way to shut this down. If you recognize what's happening with your SCV scout, get that low ground bunker as quickly as possible. Get Marines in it. Pull a couple of SCVs if you have to. And don't let those pylons get up. You'll notice if we go far enough back, we can see when this pylon rush first tries to happen. Yeah, right about 2 minutes 40, we see the first Adept rocking up with the pylon. And there's already just a Reaper sitting in that bunker. 2 Marines are about to get in. The Zealot gets here and is like, ah, shit. This is a slightly faster version of the pylon rush, by the way, because he goes Zealot first. So, pylon rush, like the Zealot is meant to put on kind of momentum and try to throw the opponent off. But all he manages to do here is just try to be distracting, and he's trying to force an overreaction. As Innovation, he just calmly ignores that pylon. He says, because my bunker's down here, I've protected my depots, my reactor. And he's just building turrets immediately. He's already gone immediately into engineering bay and a turret in his main base because he knows a single Widow Mine's good, but it can't cover a whole mineral line. And once it fires, it's got to cool down for quite a while. So the Oracle comes in and it's like, oh, you actually just scouted what was up and stopped this. So in this case, Innovation didn't really bother with things like factories or anything like that. If you look at the build order, he goes command center. Because he scouted what up, he goes immediately second barracks and then engineering bay. And he actually goes second, so it's second barracks, bunker, then engineering bay. And that's pretty much how you stop it if you scout this coming early enough. So awesome. That's Proxy Stargate. It's a nice, cute little opening, guys. Thank you very much for watching on YouTube. Today's show is a little bit of a mess for you guys on Twitch because we've had a lot of server issues and that's why there may be quite a lot of frames dropping right now. Yeah, it looks like that's still an issue due to the Twitch servers just not receiving upload quite as well as they should. But anyway, guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hug a watermelon, kick a walrus, and of course, punch a cactus to the moon. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.